What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am the King Koopa. Thank you for stopping by. We got a good little install video for you today. We're going to be putting dual single row light bars on our 3500 cabin chassis back there. These things are off-road use only because they are stupid bright. This is a little project that I wanted to do for a while now. So we had these light bars sitting on the shelves for like a year and a half. Finally got around to it. These are some Amazon specials, some Nilights. They are 150 watt single row and they put out 29,000 lumens combined together. But this project turned out pretty well. I'm happy with the quality and stuff, so let's get right to it. Now we're going to have to start using some creativity and a little bit of imagination, figure out where we're going to start mounting these at. Need these things to be strong and structural, so we probably won't mess with any of the plastic or the headlight housing area or anything like that. You could always use this A-frame, the radiator core support right here, but you would have to make some long brackets that come out to the side. So I think our best case scenario that we came up with, we're going to use the AC condenser top mounts and we're going to use the top bumper bracket mounts. So that is almost a perfect line right there, and it is just about 31 inches in between those two mounts right there. Perfect for our light bars. So let's get our material. We have some 3/8 steel rod. This you can pick up at the local metal supermarket. It was about $4 for a 5-foot stick. And we have some 2x2 1/8-inch thick angle iron. I picked these up as drops, so when somebody orders a 20-foot stick but they come in 22 feet, there's 2 feet left over, you can buy this drop as a discounted rate. So this thing I think was like $4 or $3 or something like that. So let's get a couple brackets cut up out of that. This is our Evolution's cold cut saw. This thing is phenomenal. You totally could use a grinder with a cutoff wheel though. This is definitely the DIY route, which will save you some money, but it's a little bit more work in the long run. There are two companies, FCK Light Bars and Rough Country, that make dual road light bar mounts that are adjustable. I haven't used them, so I'm not sure on the quality, but that could save you some time. We got a couple of those brackets cut out, and now we'll be using a drill to drill some holes to get these brackets mounted. So then we're going to start working on the steel rod right here. We're going to be using some MAP gas just to heat these up to help them bend easier. Then we're going to be using the fixture table to help hold the steel brackets while we bend it. We're going to mark it with a Sharpie. That's going to help us get repeatable bends that are the same. I skipped ahead about 3 hours on you right here, so this took me a lot of troubleshooting and test fitting back and forth constantly onto the truck. But so we pretty much have these brackets wrapped up. So here is the front view and here is the side view. So we have those little angled 2x2 pieces on the bottoms that we ended up trimming just a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer, and we have some smaller ones up top that we used. And if you are wondering about the structural integrity, it does have a little bit of wiggle room from this top rubber bushing side to side, but forward and back, that's me pushing the whole 3500 there. So I think that thing's pretty strong. Alright, so just another quick little test fit. This is the area that you need to worry about your rods contacting the grill. I got just a little bit of play in there. And we'll test the top cover clears. Yep, perfect. Time to mark and weld on our mounting tabs for the light bars. So we have our laser level set up here. Might be a little bit hard to see in the sun, but we got the laser run across the center honeycomb here. So now we can pull the grill off and then we can mark it on the bars back there. So we use some vice grips to hold the bracket in place right there. So now we're going to test fit with the grill, make sure it clears, which it does. We have about a 1.5 finger distance gap between the grill and the light bar. So that is perfect right there. We got those all welded up. Not too bad for flux core. It's alright, but we hit them with some black spray paint, so whenever we solid axle swap this truck, we'll send these off and get them powder coated. So let's get these things wired up. So these things don't come with a relay or a connector or anything. So we're going to be using a Deutsch connector to make these connections. They're waterproof. I love these things, they're pretty great. You can always de-pin them, add more pins. You can change it out to a larger size if you need to later down the road. So let's go through that real quick. Super simple, strip your wires, crimp your pins on, pin your connector, make sure your pins are locked in, then make sure the locking tab is in place. And this side's done. Quick little info on how a relay works. So the switch inside the dash is not rated for the power or the amperage that the light bar will consume, so we need a relay. So these two white wires here, 20 gauge thin wires, this is your signal wire. So this comes from the switch in the dash. It'll tell the relay to turn on and get power from the battery and send it to the light bar. These are 12 gauge, so these are thicker and rated for that power. And we have our relay grounds, which will get grounded to the chassis. These wires are a little short, so we're going to extend them with some more 12 gauge wire. Hit it with a little flux, a little bit of solder, and then add some heat shrink. Extended all of our wires. Then we can add our wire loom and some heat shrink, put our connectors on the end, and we are all set to get this thing installed. So we have our two connectors for our light bars right here. These all grounded through to the single chassis ground. We have our battery wire going to the fuse box, and then we have our signal wire coming in from the dash from our switch. We're now going to begin feeding this wire harness into the truck, tucking the battery wires down and around by the ECU, coming up underneath the battery. Then we can mount these relays using a pre-existing bolt on the headlight buckets, nice, neat, and tucked away. We can make our light bar connection, and the ground is going to be right below these relays on the frame. Under the fuse box here is where I made that connection to the switch. And lastly, here is our battery cables. You could feed that straight to the battery or to the top of the fuse box, but you do want to make sure it is a fused link. I did skip the switch install to try to keep this video kind of short. You could get straight power from the battery and run it to the switch in the dash if you want your light bars hot all the time. I choose to use ACC power, which is only power when the key is on. There's a big thick orange wire on the bottom of the steering column. I like to cut that wire and then add in a little distribution block, so that way later down the road if I ever wanted to add more accessories or ACC power, I have the option to do so. So at this point, everything is fully wired up. We got our grill back on, and it's time to test it out. So right now, we have a lot of light options on this truck. We have the daytime running lights currently on. We're able to use fog lights, our low beams, and fog lights. And then we also have the 6 high mod, so you're able to use your brights, which will turn on the highs, the lows, and the fog lights. And then we have our separate button on the dash to operate our light bars. Brights with the light bar option, this thing puts out an insane amount of light. And that is a wrap on this install. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I think it all turned out pretty clean. If you got any questions, put them in the comments below. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.